Viewers like you make this program possible. Support your local PBS station.
Welcome to Barbecue with Franklin. On this episode, I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone. We're heading out to Kansas City for a barbecue competition, and it's nothing like what we cook here at the restaurant. So I'm going to check in with an old friend that knows a thing or two about competitions, John Marcus. So I'm heading out to Kansas City. I signed up for a KCBS competition.
You are going to go cook a barbecue competition.
This guy.
I mean, I've never been in a car wreck, but I don't want to do it. 30 years ago, competition started as a sauce competition. That was the very first barbecue contest. It was the Doo-Wah Diddy sauce contest that Artie Davis started with Carolyn Wells and the other KCBS original founders.
Right.
And then it graduated into meat. And then at some point during the process of these contests, someone decided to use sweet.
Because, and then look out.
And then it was like you can't get the genie back in the bottle.
Yeah.
The genie is slathered in sugary, almost candied apple kind of a glaze, and that's considered great barbecue in that world.
Yeah.
So because they're all trying to please the judges, and the judges supposedly like sweet, people are not trying to find their own palates or their own taste profiles. They're trying to find the judges' profile.
Yeah, but the kicker is that I don't cook that style.
Right.
I have
they don't
no idea.
They think you're coming to
like,
you're coming to beat them. That's what they're gonna think. I'm just getting you ready for it.
No, you're right. You're right. And that's kind of what I'm worried about.
And you're a nice guy. Be prepared to be hated.
Ah!
That's what you're gonna have to bring. You want your game face on. You don't want anyone messing with you. I want you to know that I'll be thinking of you the entire time you're in Kansas during this contest, and I'll be smiling. I'm looking forward to this.
Smiling at my failures.
It's gonna be a great. It's going to be a dawn of a new knowledge for you.
It'll be very interesting.
It really will be.
It's definitely out of my element, that's for sure.
And I'll tell you something. If you win any cash prizes, I'll match them. That's how well I think you're not going to do.
Thanks a lot.
Anytime, Aaron.
So it's about a 12-hour drive from Austin to Kansas City. After talking to John a little bit, I'm not looking to place very high on this thing, that's for sure. You know, they don't use a lot of black pepper and stuff like we do in Texas. You know, I'm also in the habit of really kind of overcooking everything, because at the restaurant, everything's really, really tender. But up here, you know, when you bite into a rib, they don't want it to be too tender. The brisket shouldn't be too tender, so that's going to be a little tricky for me. If anything goes wrong, it's really going to throw a wrench in our spokes. But hopefully that won't be the case. Or it might be, I don't know, drama. And of course, there's no way to pull off all this stuff without a helper. So my helper is going to be Steve Jefferson, my trusty father-in-law. Steve does a fair amount of competitions down in Texas. Never done a KCBS before, so it's certainly a first time for him too, but he's a real good guy to have on hand. Did you get that? I forgot to bring comfortable, sensible shoes. There's the chickens. Flat's right there, briskets right there, ribs right there. All factory sealed. So, hey, thanks. See you later. It's just time to get to work. We're kind of getting set up right here. Got our cooker set up. You know, get the walls on this thing. If it gets windy, we certainly don't want the wind on our food. And we also kind of want some privacy, if you will. With competition, is it you're always looking to see what the next guy is doing, and that's actually called shigging in some circles. So, walls. I like it. That way you can kind of hang out in peace. So, it's kind of nice. It's also hot. You need to get some fans. Steve and I did a test cook last week, so we're kind of ready. Well, I did, actually. But to complicate things, we're also doing a split cook. So we're lighting up our cooker while a lot of other teams are still arriving. I think we'll do 15-minute increments. Probably about 10 o'clock when we start getting busy, we'll switch to 5-minute increments on this thing. Because the way I've timed out all these cooks. This is kind of what I wrote out for the brisket stuff. So 1:30 turn in, 1:15 dust box, blah, 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 1:05, 1 o'clock. I don't really know about the chicken thing. I don't have that timed out very good. We'll just have to wing it.
Well, when did we put them on the test cook?
Yeah, I'm not cooking them like that though.
I know, but the time is going to be about the same.
Well, it will. I'm figuring an hour and a half for thighs.
That's probably about right.
I'm still setting up by the cooker, so I've sent Steve to the cooks meeting.
Let me speak up. Can you hear me? Welcome to Kansas Speedway. Happy to present the first annual Balloons and Barbecue. Hopefully we can do this for years to come. The Balloon Fest here, this is their 7th year, and it's a good show. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, my name is Larry Hadley. As KCBS reps, we are here to ensure you get a fair and impartial evaluation and to make sure KCBS rules and regulations are followed. To qualify for a grand champion, you must enter the 4 basic KCBS categories. Pork is defined as Boston butt, Boston roast, picnic, and/or whole shoulder. Cooked, defined according to USDA as achieving an internal temperature of 145 degrees for pork and brisket, 165 degrees for chicken. You have a 10-minute window, 5 minutes before to 5 minutes after the announced turn-in times. You must be in line, not running to the line. Thank you and good luck.
Packets? Anybody need a packet? You need one? Yeah. Okay. There is a lot.
Yeah. 2 pork butts that we're going to do. I got to trim these things up a little bit. The seam fat between these muscles really is like our roadmap for what we're going for. That way we can get lots of good bark on there. You know, because this stuff's totally getting parted out. And if you look where the blade bone is, opposite of that is the money muscle. This resembles a tenderloin. It's the tenderest piece on the pork butt, but it cooks at a different rate. And when we turn these in, we're going to slice 1-inch medallions out of this. So I want to make sure that I get bark all the way around it. That's called the money muscle because that's supposedly what brings home the money. Now, pork butt's a pretty bland piece of meat. There's not a whole lot going on in there. It also needs some moisture. So we made an injection, and it's pretty much salt, a little bit of brown sugar, some really nice water, a little bit of apple juice. That's pretty much it. Injection pork butts is not a standard thing for me. You know, on one hand, it's just another tool to make something more flavorful. On the other hand, it's so like, you know, what we do at the restaurant is to keep things just simple, traditional, in a real purist way. So this is a different world for me, but can't show up to a gunfight with a knife. Can't show up to a knife fight with an injector. It'd be terrible. So. Yeah, and I'm like an hour and a half behind schedule. Then I start getting the briskets ready. So this is mostly for presentation. If the bottom of our turning box is 7 inches, I'm gonna make the brisket a little bit bigger than 7 inches so when it shrinks, it'll actually conform and be the right size that I want it. So I want bark all the way around each and every slice. I need to have what little bit of fat layer there is. It needs to be exactly consistent all the way across. I'm gonna rub the brisket down, rub the butts down, and keep in mind we're doing a split cook here, so that means the briskets and the pork butts are gonna go on ridiculously early. Probably the first people cooking out here. The world of barbecue can be pretty small, so you're bound to run into someone you know when you're at a competition.
Well, well, well.
Oh, hello.
Mr. Barbecue. How are you?
Barbecue.
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Thanks for coming to my part of the country.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, out of your element here.
I'm so out of my element, it's not even funny.
It's like secret stuff, so.
You want to give me maybe a little bit of a rundown? Layman's rundown on KCBS?
So KCBS now, the largest sanctioning body, barbecue sanctioning body in the world, I guess you would say. They're like the NFL. You know, they oversee the contests and provide the referees. They're just here to make sure we get a fair shake when we turn our food in.
Going into this, what do you think I should be keeping in mind?
So KCBS judges are instructed to judge each entry on its own merit, which simply means, to me, good food is good food. So there's no one right way to cook barbecue,
Right.
but I'm gonna give you one little hint. Sauce it.
Yeah.
I know it goes against your grain.
It hurts me inside.
Put some sauce on it.
Just
Even
put
if
some
it's just a little
gosh
bit,
darn sauce.
put a little bit of sauce on it.
Yeah.
The judges are expecting some sauce.
Yeah, I kind of figure so too.
And only put your best stuff in the box. But just like the NFL, on any given Saturday, anybody here can win.
Yeah.
So
That only makes me feel better. Nice.
15 minutes. Tofu turning 15 minutes.
You want to tape down another cutting board for your skins, and I'll trim thighs, and you do skins?
Okay.
Clean hand, dirty hand.
I'm going to have 2 dirty hands. I can't.
Yeah, you can't help it. There's a lot of people over the years talked about crispy skin. Well, it's maybe not really crispy skin, but it is bite-through skin. Each judge gets one thigh, gonna take a bite, and the last thing you want is for that judge to take a bite and all the skin pulls right off. Most likely that's what will happen, but we're gonna try our darndest to make that not happen. And the way to go about that is that you pull off the skin, you scrape all the fat off of it. I'm gonna shape the meat on the thigh. I'm not gonna toothpick it back on right now. That's gonna happen tomorrow when we rub them.
And during our test cook last week, there was only one piece that, when you bit through it, it wasn't crispy. It just pulled the whole thing off. And so we had a pretty good run last week.
There are a lot of people that don't clip the knuckles off the bones. And normally I wouldn't, but for me in this case, it's more so I have a real uniform width of my chicken thighs, and I want them all exactly the same alignment. So it's really just for presentation. Yeah, thanks again for helping me. I know I've thanked you like 40 times, but
Yeah, quit it.
I'm really glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Get back to work. There's another chicken skin. Parsley. You want to have a nice green background. You want to have a nice palette, a display, if you will, for your turning box. You want to kind of intertwine them a little bit. You know, it's a necessity, so. But this piece is terrible. This would never score. I like this one, though. All right, so it's getting pretty late. I've got my briskets up to temp, got pork butts up to temp, smoking Steve-O's in there, scraping the fat out of the chicken skins. I'm getting pretty tired. Got a full day tomorrow. I'm gonna go catch some Z's in a lawn chair until about 4 a.m. So I've got 4 meats that I'm turning in: brisket, pork ribs, pork shoulder, and chicken.
Yeah.
Since you're a certified judge, you know, when the blind box comes in, we put it in a box with some parsley, garnish it, and all that stuff. When it comes to the table, what is a barbecue judge looking for? Like what route should I take to score highly?
What competition barbecue rewards is not necessarily what you do. When you're being certified as a judge, you learn that, say, when you bite into a rib, if you pull the rib off the bone, it's overcooked.
Mm-hmm.
But if
I happen to like my ribs that way.
most people do. Like, I never worry about overcooking ribs when I'm having people over, because they don't think like a barbecue judge.
Yeah.
They love that fall off the bone, they call it. But in barbecue, you have to see the impression of your bite in the meat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the rule. That means you've cooked it expertly. And that does take a real pit master to be able to do that.
Going into this competition, I mean, that's a style that's so different from how I normally cook. It's all about patience and just kind of, it's done when it's done, it's tender when it's tender, you can't rush it. It's going to be interesting.
You know what it's like? It's like taking a guy out of the Olympics who runs the 100 meters and putting him into a marathon. This is like the opposite. You're a marathon runner and you're going to be sprinting. That's what you're going to be
I've
doing.
never sprinted before.
Oh, you're going to be sprinting. I wish I was there.
In the wee hours of the morning, it's time to get the ribs out. I've got to cut them all to a uniform length and peel the membranes off. I've got to get these ribs looking as pretty as possible. I'm going to use a mustard slather, and then I'm going to season and get these ribs a-cooking. Right around this time, we've got to start wrapping the other meats. And in the Kansas City competition world, you wrap everything in foil. Chickens go on last, so I can wait till the morning to put the brine together and get those birds submerged. Brine passage. And then we're back to watching fires. When it's time to wrap the ribs, we're using foil just like before, and we're putting in some brown sugar, honey, and margarine to get that super sweet competition flavor. The chickens have brined plenty, so we can start getting them together.
How's the schedule?
Yeah, that's pretty good. We'll actually prep each piece of meat, then wrap them around the bone and pin the skin on with toothpicks.
Yeah, and I've got the temperature just right. The skins are perfectly crisp. You know, whoever did those skins, he was spot on. You know, I don't know about the butcher job underneath, but the skins were perfect.
All right, here's first one, start filling in. Be sure the stems stick down in there so they don't pull out too. See, I'm just kind of doing that and getting it real tight down in there. 2 minutes? Okay. Stop garnish, please. Break a leg, Carney. Not literally. All right, so that stays there. Let's reset for the next turn in. For presentation, I want the cleanest and quickest cuts possible, so I'm going to get out the old electric knife. All right, start filling up right around in there. And once you've got 8 perfect ribs, we stack them up, give them a quick spritz, and send them off for turning. That's like... Don't break a leg.
You can't say our butts aren't tender. Now that's the mark of a done pork right there. He's got the money muscle over there that...
Yeah, we're getting medallions out of these right there. And what I'm doing is arranging pieces where they kind of fan up in a nice little display where you can see good bark, fat render, which is plenty of that. All right, he's coming in with pull.
Okay.
Oh, I like that pepper right there. That's great.
You want that there?
Ah, it looks awesome. Oh, I think. But then again, I'm from Texas. And I'm just gonna dab a couple things. All right, we'll wipe it and run it. Okay, it's gotta go.
Okay.
Carne for carne.
I wanted to try it.
So that's where our burn ends are coming from, right there. In Kansas, you've got to have burn ends. They come from the point, the fatty side of the brisket. They're cut off, sauced, and then put back on the cooker. Burn ends are a Kansas City delicacy. It would be so funny if we placed super poor in brisket. Somehow built an entire career on this.
Covered there.
All right, start cleaning those up. Okay, I need some parsley.
Okay. Where do you need it?
Just right up in there. Okay. Get that thing off.
Yeah, there's about 3.
That's okay, we gotta go. Where's this thing? I'll just follow the other people.
The judges basically have a lot of barbecue to sample, so they have to learn to get their impressions in one bite. The very first impression is appearance. You're looking for like a perfect glaze. You want to get them with how they sit in the box, that your parsley has been arranged, that box is open, and it's almost like they're showing a diamond to people. They're just like bringing the box around to show to everybody. You've never seen grown people act so weird over a piece of chicken thigh. And then, of course, the second thing's going to be taste and tenderness. Taste is very subjective. So this is where that judging thing comes in, where judges are looking for what is in vogue now. The scores you get back, you'll see maybe that 5 of the 6 judges gave you high marks, like out of possible 9, they gave you 8s and 9s on your brisket, say. But there's one judge at the table who gives you a 5.
Well, KCBS drops the low score.
Okay, well that's a good rule. But
Yeah,
let's say
it
that
is
the
a- it
second
is a really
person
good
gives
rule.
you a 6. Say you get 4 9s and a 6.
Yeah.
That takes you out of the running. I think you're going to have an interesting time.
All teams in. Say aye. Let's get this rolling. Top 10. We're gonna call them all out. Everybody's getting paid. It's the top 10. And first place chicken. Proud to announce we have a 180 score. Okay, here we go with ribs.
Well, we sat through all the awards, and our name never got called. Turns out we placed just about dead center of all 50 teams.
Here's to a long day.
Here's a long night.
Oh, okay. Was there a night in there? I think we had a pretty good cook. It seemed to go real well, real smooth. There didn't seem to be any hang-ups.
No hang-ups. You know, I had fun.
Well, it was good camaraderie, and it's nice cooking with somebody that knows the meat.
Well, I gotta go do something pretty important.
You're gonna be back pretty quick.
Oh yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thanks. I'll see
Well,
you
I'll
soon.
start.
Oh man, I felt like I might do something. You guys are setting me up for failure here.
Cooking and preparing food has gone into the realm of a sweepstakes.
Well, it's like NASCAR for the food world.
I think barbecue is like NASCAR except with less good-looking guys. There are more weight issues in barbecue than NASCAR. I'd like to see NASCAR with guys as heavy that are in barbecue, because then you're really going to test the
I'd like to
cars.
see a frame that could support that kind of weight.
Yeah, exactly. They'd have to like change all the specs on the cars.